So whenever we're meditating, we need to make sure our body's upright, not stiff, but up, straight, and balanced. So we're not using much energy. Our spine is stacked. Our neck is long, and we're trying to sit awake and gracefully with poise and a lightness. So it's not about being stiff, but we find if the body's slumped, the mind can become dull and we can become sleepy. So it's good to practice. If we're on a cushion, it feels different. Often on a cushion we can have wider mood swings. We can get very sleepy quickly, and then as quickly as it comes, it disappears. So sitting on a cushion can be slightly different. It can feel better and worse at the same time on the same session, rather than more middling. So I find if we're new to meditation, it's easier to sit on the chair, so we don't have those more extreme emotions and feelings. So today we're practicing Vipassana meditation, which is mindfulness of the body. But just before we start that, we'll center ourselves with a few gentle but slightly longer breaths. If we've had a busy day and we need to quieten the mind, we can focus on the relaxing nature of the out-breath. If we're quite sleepy, we can focus on the energizing nature of the in-breath. So when we feel ready, we'll start at the top of the head. So we try and sense right on the crown of our head. We can look to see if we can feel heat, cold. Might be an itchy sensation, a tingling sensation. There might be a pulsing sensation. We can feel our pulse in the top of our head. So we'll just stay with that and see what we can feel. Always try and move to the subtlest sensation. We can then move our focus to the back of the neck, the back of the head. That if we can feel tension, we can use that calming nature of the out-breath just to breathe some relaxation into the back of our neck if it's stiff. We want our neck to be long and graceful, but not forced long or pinched. We want our neck to be relaxed. And again, we're not trying to create any sensations. What we're looking to do is to see what there is already there. And we want to be present when a new sensation arises. We can move our attention to our face. Note any tension in the forehead, the eyes, jaw. We can just move around our awareness, relaxing any tensions, noting any sensations. It might be heat, cold, tickly. Now we can be mindful of our shoulders, our traps. It's thin muscles that come from our neck and attach onto our collarbone. They can often be a source of tension for a lot of people. We can then move down to our spine, our shoulder blades, that upper back area. there's tension, we can always try and lower our shoulders just a tiny amount with every out breath. Trying to just see if they can be any more relaxed. We can now move into the middle of our back, sort of roughly where the top of the chair is. We can note how much pressure we're putting on the chair. Is it comfy? Is it warming us? We can move down to our lower back. We can note how our spine curves one way and then the other. We can feel all sorts of things that we can investigate. We can move around this area. We can see if there's any blind spots, or if there's strong aches in particular parts of our back. We can sit with those strong sensations, and we find with our attention and our kind attention, we can help to dissolve these things, not by wishing them away, but just by being present. If the mind is wandering and there's agitation, and we're finding it hard to stay focused on the body, and we find our mind thinking about the past, the future. That's natural, that's normal, that's the nature of the mind. So we shouldn't feel disappointed, but we need to know how to get ourselves back on track. And if we've got agitation, the way to find balance again is by using the calming nature of the out-breath. Just a few, 5 or so gentle, slightly longer out-breaths can calm the mind, and we can restart and enjoy our meditation again. If we're finding we're sleepy or tired, and we're, if not nodding off, we're not really present, we can take a few slightly deeper in-breaths, and that energizing quality of the in-breath can help balance us. And when we see these emotions, these feelings coming and going, many times in just half an hour you realise we're not really tired, we're not really agitated. It's just the mind not used to being in the present moment. So the mind is trying to draw us away from the present moment because it's not used to it. Or rather than responding to agitation by moving, or responding to tiredness by sleeping, we can readjust our perception and enjoy the present moment. So now we can move to the belly. We can feel it coming in and out with the breath. We may have been subconsciously pulling our tummy in. It's okay to relax our tummies and let them be the shape that they are. We don't have to hold tension in this area. And with the relaxed breath, we notice our tummy's just gently moving. We can feel our hips, note any tensions that we have. We can feel our sit bones pressing on the chair. You might feel tingling, pulsing. It's not important what we feel, it's how aware are we of the subtlest sensations within the body. And the more we focus on those subtler sensations, the clearer and almost louder they become. And we can then keep searching for even subtler sensations. It should be considered fun, a game, rather than something that we need to achieve. We can move our attention to our arms, from our shoulders to our wrists. We note if we're wearing long sleeves or short sleeves, we can note if our upper arms are a different temperature to our lower arms. We can feel the sensation of the fabric on our arms. And we can move our attention to our hands, and we can note how much more sensitive our hands are compared to, say, the back of our elbow. We can easily feel tingling, pulsing, all sorts of sensations that are so much easier than, say, our elbow or the top of our head. So we're still trying to find the subtlest sensations and what we can do with our hands, because they are so sensitive. We can use them as a tool to absorb further into the meditation, because they are so sensitive. We can really get pulled in, because it's so easy compared to other parts of our body to sense these things. So we can really absorb ourselves, and we can really let go of the force required to concentrate. So we'll sit just with that awareness of our hands, and often, but not always, it can lead to a very enjoyable, pleasant sensation, and that enjoyable, pleasant sensation is certainly to be encouraged. We can delve further into that pleasant sensation. For the last 5 minutes, we'll try and have a whole body awareness, so we can move around sensations rather than holding a spotlight over to particular parts. We just see if we can sit with that total body awareness and just enjoy the sensation of being alive. Now the mind is calm, it's easier to concentrate on a larger area.